back to the Culturally Distinct Podcast. This is your boy Black Adam. I changed my name from Black DJ KO to Black Adam. It's a new season. We going into the summertime. I'm dropping the top on him. You know, I feel what I'm saying? I'm dropping the top on him. My name is Black Adam. From here on out.
Okay.
You feel me? I don't want to summons the haters. You feel me? So every time y'all see me in the streets, call me Black Adam. The reason being because why? I'm the only Black Adam you probably know. Like in real life. In real life. Anyway.
Literally or figuratively?
Like both.
Really?
Both. Whatever.
Okay.
Both. Anyway, guys, man, I'm glad you guys tuned into the show, man. You know we have a great lineup for today. But before we even start the show, much love to 605 Adult Beverages, Red Core Universe, and Call Audio. Y'all see the hat, y'all see the colors. I think orange is going to be the color for the summer.
Oh, my God.
Orange is going to be the color for the summer.
Look at that, friend.
You see that? I call it Coro.
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 With an O.
With an O. Coro. We wearing Coro.
Jesus.
You feel me?
Some things don't change.
Guys, but you know what? It's a beautiful day. You know, we're in H-Town. It's 84 degrees.
Yes, sir.
Cumulus
No,
clouds.
it's hotter
So it's beautiful. As you guys can see, y'all probably see a familiar face that was on the show at the very maturation of the show, at the very beginning.
Yes, come on, Queen. Come on.
At the very beginning. Yeah, she got a red on today, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if she representing Delta today or what.
I am 25.
Hey.
Solid
Okay,
years of service.
25. Oh,
Delta,
damn,
Sigma
25?
Theta.
Damn, that's a long time.
Right.
Really?
Don't do that on the radio.
I ain't
show.
saying-
You know what I mean?
You
You
know,
don't like how you trying to come for you. Like, come
used to
on, don't
always
start.
want to be at the beginning
So
of the
look.
elephant walk. Don't
Oh,
do
my
that.
gosh.
So I'm going to tell you,
Ooh.
I had my last guest on her. She was 25.
I'm 25.
But you were 25 in Delta. So that let me know 22 plus 25
I mean,
plus
bless
5.
her heart.
Okay,
That's a
I'm just
blessing.
saying.
Amen.
Hello?
That's
I mean,
right.
would you rather the other thing where she's not here? Like, it's only either we getting more beautiful, more wise, or it's the other
We're
way.
going to pray
So,
that young queen looks like this.
there we go.
I got
Another,
see,
yes.
y'all see what this
Yes.
show? Y'all see what this show?
I
This supposed to
mean,
be
it's
see,
facts.
this supposed to be a
It's facts.
serious
It
show
is.
today.
It
but,
is.
You know
It
what
is.
I'm
That
saying?
is very-
Anyway,
Let 'em
K
live.
Jack, how you doing? How you been? Where you been at? What's going on? Tell us what the scoop is.
So, life has been life, but very happy to be back. My life and what I do, some of what we're going to talk about today, has taken me away from this. I enjoyed this, enjoy Adam. Those who know, who don't know, Adam is like a little brother. We have been together a long time, and today, I'm going to rock with him till they drop him. Hopefully no time soon.
I hope they don't
But,
drop me.
we not.
Shit.
But he and I talk from time to time, and there's been some events, some things going on lately, and I was like, Nelson, I need to get on the show. He was like, one time you coming back permanent. I was like, whoa, let's ease into this thing. We're gonna ease our way into it, but I want to come on. There's some things I want to talk about, a few segments, a few things I want to say. So he was like, okay, of course, sure. So
Yeah.
and since that conversation, a few things have piled up and keep coming, and so we know now it's a continuous conversation because I do it every day, but the public is picking it up, and I want to just try to help push that into a positive space as much as possible.
That's good. And for those who've been under a rock, who don't know what K Jack is talking about, of course, the Kyron Lacey situation. That was one situation that happened, but it was multiple situations prior to
multiple
us
situations.
talking on the show.
Yes.
We could talk about even just in Louisiana, we had at two universities, Xavier University and Southern University, had 3 suicides by current students on the campus. We had here in Houston, we had a couple. So and them the ones that we know about, and I know there are others in other places. But the conversation needs to be had in terms of prevention, what to look for, what to look like. Khaya is in that profession. How long you been in that profession? You've been there, about 20 years, right?
Longer. I've been licensed for 17 years, but I have been working in this profession for 20 plus years, probably about 26 years.
26
I've been
years.
in mental health in some aspect.
Yeah, well, I just want to
26
say
years.
we really need people like you.
Thank you.
I commend exactly what you do because, especially when it comes to our community, you are a powerful source, Mama. I'm telling you that. So I just
And
wanted to give you your flowers.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. It gets hard. It gets hard. Different genres, different. So, this is the thing. Mental health has no discriminates. It does not care socioeconomic status, color, creed, where you grew up, how you grew up, your education, any of that. It does not discriminate. It does not discriminate. And sadly, I see little things that stand out. You hear things people say, how they say it, what they do with it, and it's powerful, but a lot of times people don't really know what to do with what they're saying. Yeah. I sit and look at videos, I look at things, and I hear what people are saying, and I'm like, that person's asking for help, but they don't really know how to ask for help. Yeah. And if they are asking for help, they don't know who to ask for help, they don't know where to go for the help, so then it's just kind of like they don't know what to do with it, and the people around them don't know how to help them, so then they just kind of wait for it to pass. Give them some ginger ale. Yeah. It's basically, you know, in black community, the whole thing, give some ginger ale. So you just give them some ginger ale, you keep it moving. So they figure you drink a ginger ale, it goes away. But it's not really, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. So
it's because you've been in the field and you understand, you see what's going on. But to the average person that probably is experiencing but don't know it's a mental illness or mental disorder. So could you explain that for the people?
And so that is the proposal she and I are working on. She's assisting me with. It's what in some places, certain jobs that some people may have, some school teachers, some educators, some school counselors, things like that. It doesn't come into many places, but it's something we call mental health first aid. Mental health first aid is kind of like that very surface, like the skin on your hand that you see, that very first surface level that's losing cells every day. It's like the core of mental health. So we call it mental health first aid. And we have a very simple thing. And even in my profession, you start a new job, some of them will make you take a training. But it's just basically teaching you understanding body language, things you see, things people say, things people do. So between mental health first aid and one of the more popular ones is an assist training, which is a training for recognizing, understanding, and assisting with people who are contemplating suicide, have attempted suicide, dealing with family members of those who have completed suicide. I know a lot of people like to say committed suicide, but it's a completion. And that could probably be a whole nother topic, another conversation where people may say, you know, the whole when I say completed, because a lot of people look at suicide as selfish. But in my field, sadly to say, sometimes it's the most bravest thing that person has done.
Right.
You know,
to do that. The act.
The act. To complete it.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Yeah, because you got to think it out.
Sometimes.
It's a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, you got to think it out.
So I'm gonna give you a very kind of like crash course when we say that. So that's why when I say mental health first aid and assist training kind of go hand in hand. Right. And I have another friend, shout out Crystal Davis. She and I have spoken as well after the young lady completed suicide at Xavier University last week. Didn't get a lot of attention, got no media attention, got very little traction on social media. Then it kind of got snatched back, I want to say, by the university for various reasons, I'm sure. But that also comes from just ignorance. And when I say ignorance, lack of knowledge, because some people feel too much knowledge feeds certain things, but I come from a place of lack of knowledge feeds.
Can you give us like maybe 3 or 5 things that we should look for if, you know, we're seeing in loved ones or friends? So that's, you know, 2 parts.
So for instance, like I say, Adam and I have been friends for a long time. There are certain things I know, certain times of the year, certain ways I know Adam is going to respond, when I'm going to see him, hear from him, things he's going to do, even if I don't see him, places he's going to be, things that are going to happen. Right?
I be having my period sometimes.
Oh, my Jesus.
All right, go ahead.
Continue, please.
All right, man.
Oh my God.
That's why I love my brother Jesus. You have to speak Adam to understand Adam. You have to
listen. This man loves the tone of his voice. Do you hear me?
Okay. So you giving me a segue to that. Okay, so I'm gonna back up a little bit. But even like when we talk about things you see, if you have a friend that's indulging in certain things they didn't do before, they're drinking more, they're going out more.
Or sleeping in more.
In more.
Got it.
And that in itself is kind of taboo, because you have some people who have functional depression, right?
Yeah.
You have some people, if you ever heard, most people have, you have some adults say, How I wait till I get grown to
Be a
get
hoe.
ADD? Shut
Oh my
Oh,
God.
I thought you was going there. I was going to finish your.
Like,
I'm sorry. I'm
Jesus.
sorry.
wow.
I
thought
get that
you-
too.
Okay.
We're gonna talk about that.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're gonna put
Oh
a
my
pin in that
God.
one. We're gonna
Please.
pin in that one. And I have a diagnosis for that
I
one.
thought you
So
was
hold
going
it.
there. I
Hold
was-
a hoe.
I
Put
was
the
jumping
hoe
on
in
the-
your hand. Hold it just like this. Do your hand like this. Just hold a hoe for me.
gonna
Hold
hold
a
it.
hoe.
All right,
Hold,
so
just
hold
hold
it.
it. Just hold a hoe.
Hold a hoe.
Don't choke out. Just hold it. Jesus. So I done lost my train of thought. What was I saying?
Yeah, you
How
were
people will
yes,
change.
yes.
People will just give you certain things, and he was. I love my brother.
A
Jesus.
fool. A fool. Continue.
How does a therapist do that? Because most therapists that I do know, they have that automatic
Oh, I do it all the time.
one thing that they see
I do it all
a
the time.
behavior, or they see a manic, or they see depressed, or they see a addiction, or they see some
Yeah.
type of overuse
Yeah.
or something, and they automatically go into their work mode versus just being let them be what they want to be. You
I
feel
don't
me?
go into my work mode. I see people and I meet them where they are.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Okay.
And doing that over time, it has been a double fold for me. So ethically, I'm
So it's
double.
like a double-edged sword.
Yes, absolutely. I am double licensed in Louisiana and Texas.
Okay.
Ethically across the board, we can't do therapy. I cannot be a therapist to any of my friends, not on record. Now, of course, granted, friends will call you and talk to you and this, that, and the other. But as I've gone on in the profession and in life,
You give them auntie advice.
I have learned why that's a rule. Because me confronting a patient in therapy, their response to confronting a family member is
Completely
not the
different, right?
same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You learn when to hold them and when to fold them. You
That makes
learn
sense.
kind of how to ease into it. And especially when your family and friends know what you do and you try to help them and offer help and give them advice. Don't be trying to therapize me. Don't be doing that
Yes.
thing on me.
Yes.
Well, I think we all had a therapist if it was granted or blessed to have it. Our grandmother, Big Mom, was always that family therapist. She didn't have no education, formal education, but she had wisdom. She had a way
Shed wisdom.
of seeing her children, seeing the grandkids, seeing everybody, and knowing what their behavior was, and like, why is this person doing this? She's not going to ask why. She's going to be like, oh, come talk to me.
And I can't agree completely with that because
don't either.
You know what I'm saying? Because I know certain grandparents, they're taught certain things from their childhood that might be
Yes.
traumatic.
So,
Yeah.
So therefore, they're like, oh well, I dealt with it, so you be all right too.
I am on the fence with that because I am a firm believer that our culture,
Yeah.
we know black culture, ooh, it's amazing. It gives you all the feels. But 99.9% of that culture is made up of trauma.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
Absolutely.
Oppression, trauma,
We
everything.
take nothing serious.
Okay,
That's true.
girl, or pray about it, and that's it. And keep
Girl,
it moving.
like,
But this is real though.
but what you're saying though, grandma knew this. She did it the best way she could.
She
And
could,
in
right.
those times,
She
when
made
your
something out of
grandmother,
nothing.
depending on your age, or your great grandmother, that was always that uncle or that auntie somewhere locked away in the back room when you went over there for a holiday because they had IDD. They had
Yeah.
either some mental health disorder or they were developmentally delayed and they kind of stayed away in a room and didn't really come out while everybody was around because
Right.
they either got overstimulated or they'll get naked or do something. But that was our way of handling it.
Correct.
You know, there was not a whole lot of group homes that we have now where people put family members and things they can't handle. There was no respite.
Yeah.
There
Yeah,
was
true.
no peace.
Right.
Like they stayed with grandmother, they stayed with whoever. And I saw something the other day on TikTok speaking to that this guy said he's a therapist. And I always love to see male therapists because they're like unicorns in our profession, especially black ones. And he was singing a song and he was making a joke out of it, but it was serious. And he said, stop telling these little girls they have to change their clothes because Uncle so-and-so coming over. Stop letting him come over.
That's
right?
real.
Okay,
That's
let's
real.
talk
And,
about it. Yes.
and these other videos start coming out around the holidays when they say, if a child does not want to hug a relative, stop making them hug
Yeah,
that person. Stop
absolutely.
making them go give him or her a hug. It's a reason they don't want to.
Right.
Right.
But it's also caught up in our culture with children are taught you do what you're told, you don't ask any questions.
Correct.
They don't really have
well,
a
that
voice.
that was then. They ain't now. These kids
Now,
Yeah, it's
not so
different,
much,
yeah.
but
Yeah,
there's
these
a
kids
lot of
rebellious
us
now.
who
They ain't doing that
still
shit.
that's indoctrinated in us, and we're kind of pushing that off on our kids. Like it's only so many places Like now, kind of, sort of, but we not finna go home to Big Mama house and Uncle so-and-so there, and your child walk in, even though they've never seen this person in their life. Go give your uncle a hug.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know them. And let that child say that 15 different people and slap this child in the mouth before he can sit down. He or she can sit down good for saying, I don't know them. I don't want to
true.
hug them.
Yeah.
So
But we didn't have that choice.
Yeah, facts. We did not, and that's why we're faced with a lot of trauma ourselves. So
Yeah.
speaking of trauma, like what can we do for people that we know that have gone through something, except for being overly, you know what I mean, like checking on them
Just
too
ask
much.
them what
like,
they need.
Okay.
Ask them what they need.
Okay.
Giving them a safe space. And
Well, God does that too.
yeah, absolutely.
I think God, for the people that believe in God, I think God puts certain avenues, put people and places and things in our mind at a certain time
For a
because
reason.
Absolutely.
it's something that we have to respond to because I believe that we have a connection or a bridge to whatever that is. To your point, I was just checking on you, see how you was doing, or I was just thinking about you. What's going on?
And especially if it's like, if I'm doing something and it's just a random
Thought.
It's a random person.
I threw a
Yeah.
napkin away in the trash. I don't know what about this napkin in the trash can made me think about this person, but this particular person crossed my mind. I have turned into that person indeed. I am going to check
Reach
on
out,
them.
yeah.
And I have also turned into that person of, if it's uncomfortable, I have no problem telling my friends I love them.
Oh, that's good.
Love you.
Me
I
too.
have no, like, I have,
That was hard at first.
it wasn't hard, but it wasn't as natural for me with my friends
Okay.
Gotcha.
as it was with family. But now, my people are my people.
Got you. That
I
makes
completely
sense.
agree with that.
And even in their spaces of despair, wherever they are, I can love you from a distance.
Long handle spoon.
Long handle, and not in a bad way. And even as, I'm going to say, as a friend,
Question. Because you have a connection with the university. I don't know if you know the family, but I'm talking about the Caleb Wilson situation, right? The young man that got hazed and tragically, was killed by
it was an unfortunate situation.
Right.
Right.
I wanna ask you about the kids that was online with him, because from the people that I spoke with, they said those kids are there on campus, but they're not there.
Allegedly.
I'm saying they're there,
Yeah, but
but
I,
they're not there
They're still functioning, going through the semester, but
Yes.
they're absolutely
because
okay.
they was there when that whole situation took place.
I'm gonna take you one further. He was one of 20, so
All
say
right.
19 other boys. Okay,
All right.
You're speaking that. How are they feeling? Bigger than that, he was in the human jukebox. We're talking about a band,
Correct.
so it's not just those who were allegedly online with him. And I'm using alleged for a reason. I'll leave that where it is.
Yeah, until it's proven guilty.
But
that's why I said it.
he
Yeah.
was in the band.
Appreciate it.
This was his third, fourth year in the band. So you have those before him who have moved on, who knew him. You have his St. Aug brethren from the band who knew him. So they're his parents. There are a
Parents,
lot of people
family, friends,
who
saints.
who are doing well.
It's kind of like my issue with social media in general, because they do that on a grand scale.
Oh,
on
yeah.
so many different levels, right? It's always about the followers and the check and
Yeah.
who's going to check for me because of this crazy event that's going on. And we really need to change our thought pattern when it comes to tragedy.
Put a human side to it.
Absolutely.
Put yourself in that person's shoes. What if that was your brother?
Right,
What if that was your sister?
right.
What if that was your niece?
So I have an additional question. So when it comes to people that want to seek help, but again, don't know where to go,
Okay, yes.
let's talk about that.
So
Especially to contact you or anybody you know.
they can contact me. My name itself, it's other. So on Instagram, it's Eric's Queen. But if you type in my name, Khaya Hamilton Jackson, Eric's Queen will come up.
Okay.
Facebook the same, TikTok the same. It may have some other handle, but my name is there. Now, is it 211? 211 has always had a crisis line. Now 988 is getting a lot of traction. You can call that number. Here in Houston, you have the Harris Center. There's so many avenues. And I would tell people, if it gets bad enough, just dial 911. Just dial 911 and tell them what you need. Or even if it's not that, you feel like you just need somebody to talk to, but it's not quite that bad, and you have your phone. Everybody, my son, he said, "Mommy, I'm going to search it up on Google." He calls it search it up. But look for the non-emergent number.
Okay.
To the local constable's office.
Okay.
Just call someone. They will direct you.
Okay.
Prayerfully to the right place.
That goes to training too, like for instance.
Right.
So you have the training, and if they give you the platform, then that when the education takes place. Just like a police officer, just like a firefighter,
But nobody's gonna want to
just
hear
like
it for the most part,
a teacher, just
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
coach. You know, they're gonna bring, if you could bring these individuals in to educate them to see what it looks like,
Yeah.
right? Then that's gonna not cause a lot of all these legal battles.
Correct. Correct.
They're gonna get sued if they don't. You know what I'm saying? If they
Correct.
don't notice it and they doing it, they're gonna get sued. That's why I like to compliment Nick Saban a lot. Nick Saban is a white dude, but Nick Saban was ahead of his time.
But his statements are coming full circle right now.
Yes, all that stuff
It's
that's
coming
going on
full
now.
statement.
He said
It's coming
that
full circle.
that's why he retired. He said, "I can't do
Right.
this
He
because I
not
see what's
doing
going on."
Right.
And also, before he got to LSU in 03, he put all those resources in place for those students. He said, "I'm gonna put the athletics on this side of campus where they only can have access to it. I'm gonna do this. The training table is over here. The library is over here. Studies is over here. Counseling is over here. I need them separate from the internal, because the thing is, they're nationally known. Everybody knows who they are when they're on national television. They can't focus if they're around all this noise. So we need to isolate them for this moment. So when this takes place, you bring, like Deion doing. That's why I compliment Deion too. He bring in players that did it. At the same time, they can relate to the kids now.
Okay, so you say that.
I'm not saying it's,
No.
I'm not saying it's gonna be prevented, but I'm saying they could educate. And if a kid is comfortable enough, he's like, "Coach, I'm not feeling it right now. My girlfriend did X, Y, and Z. My mom did this. We lost the house. I don't know what to do." At least they're comfortable enough to have that conversation versus not.
Are they?
And I have a question for you, because I'm not in a sorority or a fraternity, of course, right? But my point I'm trying to say is it possible that they can just have someone that has pledged years ago to be over these
That was supposed to be happening.
kids,
Yeah.
right? Because I know it's can be a pain, you know what I mean? Because we're older, whatever case may be, but I feel like when they have a presence of someone that is older, maybe it's a little bit more respect or just safer. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
It does. It does, and that's twofold.
But the guy was older, wasn't he? Who did it?
I have.
Hey,
no comment.
allegedly.
I was not
Okay.
there. I
Nah,
was
it was
not
nah.
there.
This is
But
for real,
to
for real.
speak to what you're saying, I understand.
point.
To your point,
Yes.
I
Yeah.
understand what you are saying, but
And please forgive my ignorance.
no. It's very poignant that you say that, because it what back then, what these older people, more seasoned people were doing, it was still some hazing then, or what you would consider hazing.
That was a lot of hazing.
But what they were doing then, for whatever reason, which is where I come in, why do you think that way? People have built upon that and is trying to outdo what the last one did.
Yes.
Outdo what the
I
last
got
one
you.
did.
Yes.
It's not even just organizations, Greek organizations. It's whatever little hazing and rituals go on in athletics, in different departments
Right,
on
the bands
campuses,
and stuff,
different
yeah.
jobs. Like, teachers on. Not even to
But
bring this
politics.
side of it now. There are a lot of other factors in play and things like that. But this is what a lot of people don't see that I see, because I'm very clear on there is no. They say they do, or if they do, nobody reads it. There was not a psychological dawn on Donald Trump, and if it was, he should not be president.
yeah,
I don't know
absolutely.
who skewed it or how, but
I completely agree
that's
with
a
that,
whole
but
nother
yeah,
something else.
right.
Stop. No. No.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
the funniest part about it is, to me,
I'm not gonna interject. I want
the
to,
funniest
but
part
I'm not.
about that it is to me is how at that point everybody was aligning themselves with that. And you still have those people want to align themselves with him. But at the same time, this person they are chasing to align themselves with, he's also doing the same thing. That's why now you have Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk
Yeah.
sitting up there with him because he's striving to be those people. So y'all chasing somebody who chasing something
Yeah.
else.
Absolutely.
It's like a hamster in the wheel.
Well, it's
Absolutely.
like Elon Musk
It's
too.
like
That's
going
why
like
he got
this,
Elon
you know?
Musk in his cabinet. But I want to ask you this because since you went that point, I didn't want to go political with it.
It's
But
all
since you went
mental. I
political
mean,
with
it's all relative though.
it is.
Yeah,
it
she was
is.
trying to make a point that
But
it all is.
It's all relative.
Yeah,
It does
absolutely.
not have it's no discrimination.
And that's what you
okay,
said
so this
earlier.
is the other biggest thing. We talk about mental health. We talk about
Yeah.
mental health in the most
Let's talk about it. Here we
the
go.
most common mental health diagnoses and things that people talk about. So you have what we call axis. There's 5 axes in a diagnosis.
Okay.
Axis 1, that's your depression, your schizophrenia, your bipolar, all of those. Axis 2 is your personality.
Okay.
Personality has a diagnosis, right? Insurance doesn't pay for personality disorder because everybody has one.
Their
that's
own
in some
personality.
shape. But those are so people be, oh, he's schizophrenic.
So
No.
So personality can't be treated,
personality
right?
is it can be treated, but it's dangerous.
It's just who that person is, not that person.
Ooh, it's dangerous. It's dangerous.
That's
That's
important.
your narcissist. That's your borderline.
Hold on, that word was that word was played out in
And
2024. Don't use that word no more.
No, but now, okay, it was
That and
played
gaslighting.
Okay, but gaslighting comes with the narcissist. So
Yeah.
narcissism and bipolar, if I never hear them again, because they're all used in such the wrong way.
Yes,
But
absolutely.
now,
I don't hear it no more.
narcissism is starting to be used properly because it's starting to be assigned to the right people. Because I cringe daily, even if I'm watching the news and I hear a news reporter say the weather is bipolar. That's such an insult and disrespectful.
Yeah, it is too.
That
Yeah,
is so disrespectful.
because that's a real thing. People are
That
really
is
bipolar.
so disrespectful
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
I like, did you really just say that? But they do. But access to personality
Personality
disorders,
traits. So I want to ask you about
That's
this,
a
Khaya.
whole nother. Oh, geez.
Since we
That
on
made
that,
my nerves bad.
and I think this is a good topic. I love it because I could go so many places with it, but I'm going somewhere with it right now.
Where you going, brother? Make
So
it plain.
when it comes to that, the DEI situation, right? We spoke about Donald Trump. We spoke about different individuals that's in politics. The DEI, right? A lot of people think, well, let me see this. A lot of blacks,
Uninformed.
uninformed,
A lot of
misinformed, don't read, uneducated, blacks think that DEI affected them the most, and it didn't.
It didn't.
Right? So now when you talk about access to personality traits, sometimes I'm asking, this is a question now. Now, my ignorance is bliss sometimes, okay?
All the time, but go
All
ahead.
right, I made that statement to make
it
this
again.
statement that I'm about to play.
Your ignorance is bliss.
It's bliss.
Okay.
Sometimes, do you think a personality trait is because a person is not well informed, so they make decisions off of the masses versus off of what's reality?
I wouldn't say that's a personality trait. That's just ignorance. That's just lack of knowledge. I'm not gonna say that's what you can say in a way.
I want you to think about it hard now.
Yeah, yes and no. Yes and no.
Tell us why.
Because you can have borderline, you can have histrionic, you can have different personality traits, you can have different axis 1 or axis 2 traits. You have malingering, and malingering is like we have people who go into a hospital and they see other traits or other diagnoses, how people present, and they'll take on those traits.
They
and
start
they'll
doing
come home,
themselves.
And they'll start doing themselves.
Yes.
So you do have times where people have no identity and they can pick up the identity of others.
someone else, yeah.
But it is a little deeper than that. It's like it does make us wonder, where does this come from?
So now, in saying that, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. So having a copycat, can I use the word copycat?
can use copycat.
Having a copycat personality, I think that. Now I'm just speaking on my community. I'm not. I can't speak on Indian black. I mean Indian white, Asian,
Right,
all those
right,
others. I'm talking
right.
about black. From what I've experienced, I believe that a lot of our personalities are copycat because it's cool for the moment,
Absolutely.
right? TikTok,
Yeah.
Instagram, social media, what you guys spoke about earlier. I think, especially in the younger people, I think that the copycat, misinformed individuals are more suicidal, or more mild to depression, or some type of diagnosis because they're taking on something that they don't even know what they're doing.
That's powerful. And I'm going to tell you why. That's what I work on in groups with my adolescents and my youngsters and my adults as well. There are times I've had groups I bring in cans of vegetables and I take the labels off of them and I pass them out. I give them to everybody. What is this? I don't know.
Right.
So if I tell you this is a can of peas, how much do you believe it's a can of peas? I don't know that, miss. I can't see what it is. Okay. So if a person tells you you're this, why do you internalize that so much? So when you say you get these copycats, you have these people who are grasping for something, who are grasping to belong, who are grasping to have a place that comes from somewhere else.
Deep.
In that 0 to 3, that comes from somewhere else in their childhood, that comes from somewhere else in the upbringing. You may have heard me, I may joke and I say, you didn't get enough hugs as a child, but it's not my responsibility to give them to you either.
I'm gonna call it another word. I'm gonna use it, validation.
Oh God, yes,
We
Lord,
did a
people
lot
want to
of-
be validated.
Validated.
And it's not always from childhood. That validation, that need for validation, it can grow and develop later in life. Absolutely. And that goes into the not wanting to be mediocre, wanting to align with something else. He looks like a powerful man. I don't care how many businesses he's bankrupt.
Right.
He just still presents, but it's his persona. He presents as this.
Right.
No, I We get it are 100%.
on
So
You know what I'm saying? You when I say that, it
Yeah,
clicks.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
oh, how he know that? It just resonates
Right.
with you in that moment.
And sometimes I think a person can make it resonate with them.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Make it
Yes,
applicable
'cause you want it to.
Exactly.
You want
'Cause
it
you
to
want it
because
to.
you want that
Exactly.
validation.
Absolutely.
You
Goes
want to
back to
feel.
validation.
I'm lost.
Yeah.
But that
And
goes
you
back
found
to
me.
even
You know
in
what I mean?
mental health.
Yeah.
I'm lost. I
Yeah.
don't know what I'm feeling. I don't know why I'm feeling it. But at the moment, somebody gives me something
yeah,
that
I'm
I
off
can
to the
feel
races.
it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's take
Yeah.
that and go. Is this?
Yeah.
that's why therapy
It's
is
the law.
important. Finding-
Therapy is important.
very important.
Therapy is important.
'Cause it
You
finds
find
you.
and grounding. Grounding.
It helps you find
Grounding
actually
is good.
identity.
Meditating is good.
Yes.
And even when I say grounding or meditation, I don't mean you got to sit and get namaste and all of that. Go outside and walk in the grass. Some people say wiping down the walls, washing dishes. You know what? Most most men, for sure, black men, you come home into the level of vigor that your wife or your woman or your girlfriend
Side
is
piece.
cleaning the house.
Side piece.
Shut up.
piece.
Hold her with your hoe.
All right.
Hold your side piece
Okay.
with the hoe.
Hold
Just
it
hold
with the
her.
hoe. All right.
But to the level of cleaning and vigor that she has behind how she mopping that floor,
Side piece.
your pulse increases. You trying to figure out, oh shit, what I do wrong. You trying to figure out what's wrong.
Because something
with it.
wrong. That's not her behavior. She
But
doesn't
but
do
it's
that.
not. It may
Especially
not
if she
even
don't
be
clean.
you. It
Right.
may even be
It might
just
be,
a frustrating day at work, but
True.
that's her meditation. That's
Right.
her release. But then you come in trying to figure out what's wrong. Now you done pissed off. So now she is mad at you.
That's true.
because she redirected her, anger
Energy
to
somewhere
get-
And you won't just
Absolutely.
let her be. And sometimes when we say people are not okay, and we go to them and say, okay, what's going on? And they say, nothing, I'm fine. It's a fine line between learning to take the I'm fine and leave them be and then going back later. But that's also when you create that safe space
Yeah.
for a person who may say, I'm okay, but they know once they calm down and they settle, they know they can still come back to you
Right.
because you're safe enough to come back to.
So, India, give us a resolution. Give us a resolution on.
Isn't he?
Give us a resolution
gosh.
on. This is a great conversation, and we got to pay some bills, so we got to get out of here.
Absolutely.
And you got places to be also. You got dinners to take. Give us a resolution. What's your take on the outcome of what's going to take place in the future for you, for the people that surround you, your surroundings, and this conversation in the whole?
Well, I want to say first that I'm excited for your program that's coming because a lot of
Prayerfully.
young people need this, right? They need to be able to drop off that note for their friend or for themselves to say, like, I need help, and without anyone knowing, you know what I'm saying, what's going on. So I'm excited about that because I'm putting it into existence that it's going to happen.
Thank you.
Absolutely. For me, I feel like, just like you said, checking up on your friends, the people that you think of, actively reach out. Just a text, like you thinking about you.
And we
Hey,
all-
wanted
yeah.
to tell you I love you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Call me and tell me you love me.
Why I gotta call you? Though? Carry on.
you know what I mean?
Right.
Anyway,
Right.
you know,
Right.
hold your hoe. Remember that?
Hold your side
Hold
piece.
your-
Okay.
Get your women together. Get your ducks in order.
Okay.
Get your ducks in order. Get your hoes and your side pieces together.
But yes, like
Yes.
that's what I feel like I want to do. Personally, for me, I do the meditation. I do the walking. Anything that really makes me feel happy, I think people really should do that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of
Do it
trying to
feels
push,
good.
pigeonhole yourself into doing what you think you need to do. Just do what makes you feel good. That's my message.
And
So,
you know,
That's good.
it's hard. It's hard, and it's hard for me. I'm getting better. And even when I do it, to stand firm and being okay with it. But no is a complete sentence.
yes.
No
That's
is a
it.
complete
Yes.
sentence.
Yes. That's my season actually right now.
It is
It's
a
no.
complete sentence. But
Yeah.
once you say no, are you okay with your no?
Yeah.
That I have on the planner that I'm gonna do is just I have to make time for
And
it.
I employ y'all to flood DJ KO, Black Adam.
Black
I'm sorry,
Adam.
to flood Black Adam's DMs because he loved DMs. He was sliding his DMs
Oh,
with
yeah,
all
he
your
enjoys that.
topics, your
Absolutely.
questions,
I'm a
your
slider.
conversations. Let's do it all.
Absolutely.
Hit Black Adam up,
Black Adam. I'm gonna change my name to Black Adam.
please.
Oh
Jesus.
gosh.
All right, guys, but I'm glad you guys tuned into the show because the name change is triggering a lot of people, but it's okay.
You know what? That's your new word, trigger.
It is.
Trigger.
Okay, he don't like
Trigger.
narcissists, but he loved trigger.
I don't like
Drink up.
narcissists. I don't like that word no
That's
more.
his word, Drika. Trigger. He's
So,
triggered.
guys, look, I'm glad you guys tuned in. Look, this is one of these shows that we just had a conversation. It's like, you know how you go by your auntie house or you go to your uncle, you have the backyard barbecue, or even a barbershop. You know, you have that. Just have a simple
We have
conversation.
come a long way because you didn't
Yeah.
like for me to talk about mental health.
Yeah,
when
I didn't
was
do
first
therapy a
co-host.
long
When I was
time.
a co-host, he did not.
Hey guys, information. How can they find India?
You
Start
can-
off. Okay, go ahead.
No,
go ahead,
you don't.
India.
No,
No, you
no,
go. You
no,
go.
ma'am.
Okay.
You,
So
please.
you can find me on Instagram. It's Eric's Queen. Well, how do I spell it? ERICCTSQUEEN or Khaya Hamilton Jackson. Facebook Khaya Hamilton Jackson. TikTok, everything should be my name, Khaya Hamilton Jackson. You put that in, it will give you some semblance or something to me. If not, you can follow up with either the Culturalist Thing podcast. You can follow up Black Adam. You can follow up India, whatever. There's a way of getting to me.
Absolutely.
But I am here. I can point you in the right direction. There's always someone somewhere, and we can get you the help that you need.
Awesome. So happy to have you here. I'm serious.
I'm very happy
Absolutely.
to be here.
Absolutely.
Very happy to be here.
Yeah, so I'm your girl, India Thomas Johns with Thomas Johns Consultancy, LLC. On Facebook under India Thomas Johns. Under Instagram, India_Thomas Johns. And on Twitter, same thing. Look forward to seeing y'all, your financial resource.
There you go. And you already know who I am. I'm culturally distinct everywhere, but I'm changing it up to Black Adam. So
You changing what to Black
well,
Adam?
my personal page is
Your
Black
handle.
Adam.
You gonna go from DJ KO to Black Adam.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like
yeah.
Black Adam.
Yeah, I
Black
think it's
Adam,
dope.
I like
It's
that.
dope.
Right? Get out of here. We gotta go pay some bills. Look.
Oh, sorry.
So remember this: to hold your hoe.
Keep putting your side piece
So,
together.
keep your side pieces to yourself. We gotta get out of here,
Still
guys.
holding your hoe.
Look, hey, Mr. D. Oh shit, I'm out of here. Y'all be good. Take care of yourself.
You cannot put that.